The Zythani scout had been watching the human settlement for 3 cycles, waiting for them to show their cruelty. She crouched behind the rusted containers, her translator implant recording everything, her wounds still fresh from the fight with the feral canine over discarded protein waste. The gash along her forearm leaked blue ichor onto the dirt. She had lost. She had been reduced to this, a proud daughter of the Zythani Empire, scrounging for scraps in an alien slum because her reconnaissance vessel had been shot down over this backwater colony world. The humans didn't know she was here, didn't know she was gathering evidence of their barbarism to present before the Galactic Council, didn't know that her people were preparing to glass this entire world for its crimes against the lesser species of the outer reaches. The humans would reveal themselves soon enough. They always did. She watched them move through their settlement, those strange bipeds with their soft skin and blunt teeth, their pathetically fragile bodies that bruised from the slightest impact. Prey species, the Empire had classified them, barely sentient. Dangerous only because they bred quickly and spread like a plague across habitable worlds. The pain in her arm intensified. Infection, probably. The canine's teeth had been filthy. She needed to move to find shelter too. Footsteps, a human male approaching her hiding spot. She pressed herself against the cold metal, mandibles clicking in distress. If he found her, she would fight. She would die with honor rather than face human captivity. The footsteps stopped. "Hey," the human said softly, "I can see you back there." Her 3 hearts hammered against her thorax. She prepared to strike. "You're hurt," he continued, his voice strange, gentle, her translator supplied, though that made no sense. "Please, let me help." A trap it had to be. Humans didn't help, they conquered, they exploited. The council reports were clear, but the human didn't advance, didn't call for others. He simply crouched down, making himself smaller, less threatening, and placed something on the ground between them. "I'm going to leave this here," he said. "Bandages, clean ones, and some food. Real food, not garbage." She watched through the gap in the containers as he stood slowly, hands visible, and backed away, retreated from wounded prey. For a long moment she didn't move, couldn't move. This violated everything she knew about humans. Hunger and pain won over caution. She emerged, seized the package, and retreated to her hiding spot. Inside, medical supplies, sophisticated ones, and sealed packages of prepared food. Not scraps, not refuse, provisions. Her secondary brain struggled to process this while her primary brain tore open the food packets with trembling mandibles. The human returned the next day, and the next. Each time he left supplies. Each time he spoke in those soft tones. Each time he asked nothing in return. "You don't have to be afraid," he said on the 4th day. "Whatever happened to you, whatever brought you here, you're safe now." Safe? The word felt alien in her mouth when she tried to repeat it. On the 7th day, fever took her. The infection had spread despite the bandages. She lay in her hiding place, consciousness fading, wondering if this was how a Zythani warrior died, not in battle but alone on a hostile world, defeated by a dog and killed by her own pride. She woke to softness. A bed, clean sheets, the smell of antiseptic. Her arm wrapped in professional medical dressings, an IV line trailing to a bag of clear fluid, and the human male, asleep in a chair beside her bed as if he'd been keeping watch. She should have killed him then, should have completed her mission, should have. He opened his eyes, smiled with exhaustion. "You're awake, good, you had us worried." Us, she became aware of others, humans, moving through what she now recognized as a medical facility, treating her, caring for her. Why? The word rasped from her translator, barely functional. Why what? Why help your enemy? The human's expression shifted, confusion, then something deeper. Sadness. "Enemy, you're not our enemy, you're hurt, you're lost. That's all I needed to know." She had spent 3 cycles watching for human cruelty. She had documented their settlements, their defenses, their weaknesses. She had prepared a report that would justify their extinction. She had never thought to look for this. The human stood, checked her IV, adjusted her blankets with practiced care. "Rest now." When you're better, if you want to talk about why you were hiding in our settlement, gathering intel on us." He smiled again, and this time it held no malice, only weary understanding. "We can talk, but first you need to heal." He'd known. The entire time he'd known what she was, and he'd helped her anyway. She lay in that bed, staring at the ceiling, her three hearts beating a rhythm she didn't recognize. Shame, confusion, something else, something her language didn't have a word for. The Galactic Council report would never be filed. The glassing order would never be given because she had been wrong about humans. They weren't cruel. They weren't barbaric. They were terrifying in ways the Empire had never imagined, because they extended mercy to those who came to destroy them, and in doing so made those enemies obsolete. She fought a dog for scraps and lost. A human bandaged her wounds and gave her food. And in that moment, the war ended before it could begin.